Alright, we're going to be playing the old version of Minecraft while we talk about some deep stuff, some mental health, just life in general. I'm going to tell you guys some stories from my life. I'm going to get into some spirituality, some conspiracies. I'm just going to go into some crazy stuff in this video. And essentially, this is just going to be a raw, at least mostly raw, gameplay where we're just playing the old Minecraft for nostalgia, and it definitely is very nostalgic. This is my childhood right here. But yeah, we're just gonna be playing this and talking about life. So if that is interesting to you, then consider watching. And honestly, this is a really good video to just play in the background while you do something else. This video is probably gonna be like an hour or so long, and so great video to just play in the background or play at night when you're just kind of doing something or studying, and you're just kind of, you want some background noise, some background stuff. Now, I will say there is some things in this video that I will say there is some things in this one that you might want to take notes on just for your own mental health, or, oh my gosh, that was a close one. I did not see that. I heard the noise of something like creeping up on me, and I'm like, what is that? Is that an animal? I'm really glad I looked up. Oh my goodness. That was insane. Anyways. So yeah, this is some nostalgic gameplay while we talk about life and deep conversations. There's some things in this one that you might want to take notes on just for your own, like, I guess, mental health, physical health, just general well-being, but otherwise just sit back and chill and enjoy this calm, deep Minecraft gameplay of this old game. It's so nostalgic, man. The old textures, the old sounds, the old just world generation. This is what I grew up with. And the first time I played Minecraft was actually on Pocket Edition. Actually, the day it came out, I'm pretty sure, or that week. My mom actually took me to, I think it was an AT&T store, or might have been Verizon, but I think it was AT&T, and this was 2011. So yes, I am considered unk status to most of you guys, but 2011, 14 years ago. Wow, 14 years ago. I played Minecraft for the first time on one of the demo phones, the little phones that they have on display that you can kind of play with and kind of test out before you buy it. I had one of those. I was playing on one of those while my mom figured out whatever she was figuring out with the workers. What the heck? And I saw this game called Minecraft, and I thought it was really interesting, and so I clicked on it and I started playing it, and lo and behold, I got addicted, like genuinely addicted to this game, and I was having so much fun just building and I don't know, I remember going home that night and like talking to my mom and being like, I really want this game, can we please get this game? And I think after a couple days I was able to install it on my Motorola iPad or tablet, whatever you call it. It's not really a thing anymore, those tablets. Okay, well, I'm not gonna. That was terrifying. But my dad got custody of us in late 2020. 2020. Oh my gosh, what am I saying? This has been so long. My dad got custody of us in late 2012, and at that point, when I went to live with him, he had a laptop, a Toshiba laptop, that he allowed me to play on and like use every once in a while. And pretty much I was able to use it most of the time and play with it because oh my gosh, these animals are so loud. Because either he was at work or he just didn't use it for much other than like taxes or important things or paying bills. So I pretty much got to play on it 24/7, and I used to play a lot of like free online games. Some of you guys might remember Dan Ball, or that little stick fight game, the Stickman. There's a couple other ones I used to play on, but for the most part, that was my childhood. And then, in after like a month or so of just begging my dad to buy me the PC version of Minecraft, in October 2012, October 9th actually, I believe it was October 9th, might have been October 8th. I forget the day. October 9th was also a really notable day because that's when I got in a car crash and almost somehow miraculously survived. It was a rollover 50-mile-per-hour accident that we somehow survived, and didn't break anything or didn't get any significant damage to ourselves. But praise God for that. But but we I believe it might have been October 8th. But I got the game on one of those days in October 2012, and it completely changed my life. That this game was going to be the game that genuinely saves my life as a kid from a lot of things, from possibly ending it all. Man, am I so grateful for this game. This game quite literally changed my life. Yes, it was a coping mechanism for most of my life. Yes, it was a way of escapism and running away from my problems. But as a kid, it makes sense. As a kid, like, you have to run from your problems. You can't really escape them. You can't really confront your problems. You kind of have to escape them. And so I'm immensely grateful that I had Minecraft, because if I didn't, I don't know if I would be here today. I really don't know. I really don't know if I would be. So I am so grateful. Is there beds in Minecraft 1.7? Beta 1.7? I don't think there is, but we'll find out when the sun sets shortly here. Trying to find a good place to build our base. I don't really see anything too beautiful, so we might just have to make a little temporary abode, maybe on this hill right here. This is kind of a cool area. Maybe we'll just build it right here. Oh no, it's getting dark really fast. Oh no. Okay, build quick. Build really quick. Okay, anyways. So, I would go on to play Minecraft for hours a day. I think at first I had but I would go on to play Minecraft for hours a day. I played everything. I played single player. I still remember one of my first worlds. I was in a taiga biome, a snowy taiga with some ice in the... Oh, this is really dark. I don't even know where I'm at. I forgot how dark these old versions are. Oh, and the old bed texture. Wow. That is so nostalgic. The old bed. Oh my gosh, get me out of here. It is so dark. Look at that old bed texture. And the old item. Wow. That is super nostalgic. Anyways, I was playing Minecraft for hours and hours a day. I played single player. I still remember all my old worlds. I remember playing a lot of multiplayer servers after a couple months. I played MC PvP, which, by the way, fun fact, if you guys know the YouTuber Hamza Ahmed, he makes self-improvement videos and has become really popular in the past few years. I actually vaguely remember playing against him. He talks about it a lot, about how he used to play on that server when he was younger, and he used to make videos, Minecraft videos of him playing on there, and playing Hunger Games, and playing Super PvP. Well, I remember playing Super PvP and Kit PvP and Hunger Games on that server, and I'm fairly certain I've played against him before in one of those game modes. I am fairly confident. So, shout out to Hamza. The one time we crossed paths, for now, maybe someday in the future we'll meet again in real life. That'd be sick. That'd be super dope. Anyways, so oh, some coal right here. Could use that. some torches, some fuel for our furnace. Uh, stuff. Smelting is what I meant to say. Forgot the word. So I played a lot of that. I played a lot of Frostcast Hunger Games, which I got really good at. I remember at one point in like early 2023, like February or March, I remember playing Frostcast Hunger Games, and I would win pretty much at least every other game. I'd win, and I'd have full iron, some diamond armor maybe. I'd just get stacked, and I would just win. And this is pretty much the first time that I became fascinated with PvP, and I started playing a bunch of kit PvP. Kit PvP. So there's a lot of kit PvP servers I used to play on. I don't remember any of the names of any of them, unfortunately. They're all long gone in the past. They don't exist anymore, and they haven't, and there's no record of them really ever existing, at least that you could find or recollect. So rest in peace to those servers. Thank you to the moderators, thank you to the people who made those servers. You really made my childhood and many other childhoods, and so for that I am immensely grateful to you guys. That server was those servers were super fun. I played a lot of those, a ton of those actually. A lot of Hunger Games servers, a lot of other Hunger Games servers. I started playing Mineplex at this time in like mid 2013. Mineplex was a super fun server with like Super Smash Mobs, which is a play on Super Smash Bros, which was a super fun game mode. I always did the Creeper as my main. Probably made a lot of people, probably rage baited a lot of people on there with that. I used to play Bridges, which is a very niche game mode. I used to play Hunger Games on there. I used to play Micro Battles. I think I have over 300 or 400 Micro Battles wins. I was a beast at that game. I think I still have some videos on my old channel of me playing Micro Battles, and yeah, those were good times. I was such a tryhard back then. That's when I started really tryharding. But I enjoyed a lot of the other features of Minecraft and the multiplayer scene as well. I enjoyed the mini games. I enjoyed Hypixel was a good one. A lot of fun times on Hypixel, especially in later years, but also back then as well. I enjoyed survival servers. I played a ton of survival servers, most of which were just very localized, very private, very like not very popular servers that probably have no trace on the internet anymore, to be honest. Like max 10, 15 players, and probably like 4 or 5 actually, like at a time. So yeah. At this time there was also there was one called God's PvP, which was like a prison server that every level that you rank up was a new like Greek god or like Roman god, and you have to rank up to like the highest Greek god like in the hierarchy. And for those who don't know the prison servers you have to like mine or like collect or trade or buy and sell to eventually like work your way up the prison system until eventually you escape the prison system. And at this point, either you beat the server and you're the top rank, or a lot of servers had a feature where it would like turn into factions. So once you escape the prison, you are now able to like play like the factions game mode, and you're able to build factions and build bases and kind of team up, and really fun game mode. I loved factions. I played a lot of factions as well. I probably have played at least a few hundred hours, if not more, of factions and just grinding farms and fighting and like raiding bases. And there was at least 3 or 4 factions that I was a part of that were hardcore and were just super fun times. Man, I miss those days. Those were good times. Man. But yeah, after that, 2014 was a big Mineplex and Hypixel year. I got super obsessed with YouTubers like Captain Sparkles and the Maya Knight series, and also his Hunger Games. I got obsessed with Stampy and Dan TDM and Popular Memos. Those three YouTubers were kind of like the next gen of Minecraft YouTube. The original generation, which was like 2011, 2012, 2013, was pretty much dominated by Captain Sparkles, Ant Venom, not Dan TDM, sorry. Paul Source Jr., Seth Bling, Ethos Lab, Rendog. I'm forgetting a bunch of others. Noah Craft, Sly Fox Hound. Alex Krish was like the animator guy, as well as Slamacow and Exploding TNT. But Exploding TNT was also like 2014 gen. He wasn't like OG. Pink Sheep, all those YouTubers were like 2015, 2016. But man, the 2012, 2013 days were very fun. There were C-Nanners as well in the OG days. Bebop Vox made a lot of the animations. Who else do you have? Who else am I forgetting? Yogscast, that was the main YouTuber from like the 2012 days, the early days of Minecraft. Those guys ended up having like, I think 10 million subscribers or something, or 8 million subscribers on their channel, which just for making Minecraft videos and like Let's Plays, like that was ridiculous for back in the day. I mean, back then the biggest channels had 10, 12, 14 million subscribers. PewDiePie, Smosh. PewDiePie wasn't even #1 yet. It was Smosh, Ryan Higa, and Jenna Marbles, and like a couple of other YouTubers that were in the top 10, and Ray William Johnson. So it was it was a much different atmosphere back then, and these Minecraft YouTubers really did like take over the internet in 2012, 2013, and really dominated the atmosphere. Good times, man, good times. I miss those days so much when life was simple and I'd come home from school and watch a Captain Sparkles video or a Rendog video or an Ant Venom video. I miss those days, man. Once 2014 rolled around, Hunger Games became a mainstream game mode. I remember playing, specifically at this point, Frostcast pretty much was getting ready to close down as a server. And you had servers like the Archon. Oh wait, that was a faction server, I think. Never mind. The Hive, you had the Hive, you had Hypixel, you had Mindplex, you had MC Gamer, aka MCSG, which was a ultra competitive Hunger Games server with many notable players that became famous YouTubers later on. So I'm going to go ahead and name a few of them right now. There's Huahui, Great Battle Sauce, Creeper Farts, Private Fearless, Solar Flare, aka Solar, B-Boy QG, Noah Sailor was an OG one, CS Coop was an OG one, and Technoblade was technically one of them. Although I don't think he was super hardcore on that server very much, but he was on there. He was in that scene. You had Just a Hot Dog. You had I don't know. There were so many other guys. I'm never gonna be able to name all of them because it was such a different time. Okay, well, that's Minecraft nostalgia. That's the Minecraft nostalgia dose. That's the dose of Minecraft nostalgia for the day. Just talked about that for like 30 minutes. At this point, I'm just looking around for a good place to build a base. We can also make some stone tools. I don't have sticks. The next thing I wanted to talk about, though, what else do I want to talk about? Those were good days, though. Man, those were super good days. I'm just reminiscing on those times, and every time I look back, like I get a sad feeling of like, man, those times were so simple, especially 2012, 2013. But even like later on, Even in 2017, I had good Minecraft memories. And I just look back on it so fondly at the simpler times and the memories we made. I had countless friends, dozens of friends I played Minecraft with. I can't even like touch on all the times I had just beautiful memories. By the way, guys, if doesn't this area right here look like Sea Nanners, like his starting point in his original series? Uh, doesn't it look very familiar? I don't know. Maybe I'm just tripping. There's many other servers I was a part of. I was a moderator and also a super good friend of the guys on Dragon Miner, which was a very niche server with a bunch of friends. 2030. We actually have a reunion Discord that I'm a part of. That's really cool. Shout out to those guys. Thank you for being a part of my childhood. We have in 2017, I created an ultra hardcore group, which ended up becoming an SMP and just a collaboration group where we made like collabs and like funny moments together. But but it was called Valor, and there was probably 20 or 30 of us at a time. Some probably in total there was like 50 or 60 members of all time. Really fun group. I think the really good times. I think at one point we were getting like 5,000 views a day on YouTube, which isn't great, but for back then it was pretty good for 2017 times. Getting those kind of views on a SMP is pretty crazy. So we were pretty popular for the most part. We were actually getting a lot of we were actually gaining a fan base, but then unfortunately around 2019 the server just died. There was a lot of falling out with a lot of the members and people just quit, and it was pretty much over at that point. But good times. I'm grateful to all the members that were a part of that series, either in the UHC or the SMP or just hanging out with in collabs. Thank you guys. You were such a good part of my childhood. I don't know if I'm going to scrap this or not. I don't know if I'm going to keep this or scrap it. I feel like this is kind of a lame video to watch, but I'm just kind of pouring out all my nostalgia. Let's talk about mental health, shall we? Mental health. My mental health personally has been really good in the past couple months. There was a time, I would say between mid 2024 to pretty much up until a couple months ago, late 2025, where I just wasn't doing good mentally or physically or spiritually. I wasn't doing good in life, and for some reason or another, I started committing to something called self-improvement, which is basically a set of habits and a set of routine. It's not anything hardcore. I'm not running 10 miles a day. I'm not doing this crazy thing or that crazy thing. Genuinely, I'm just enjoying my life and basically doing something called delayed gratification. And this principle has completely changed my life and gave me such better mental health and happiness levels and life enjoyments, and I'm immensely grateful for that. Self-improvement has quite literally changed my life. I discovered it in 2022, but I pretty much fell off of it right away. But what is self-improvement? Like, what is a definition of self-improvement? Self-improvement is improving your life physically, mentally, and spiritually each and every day. And essentially, there's habits that you can incorporate that will improve your physical, mental, and spiritual health. And you essentially want to do those every single day. Some of the habits that have really helped me recently is meditation, journaling, prayer, reading the Bible, just reading in general, learning, studying, random things that interest me, or having a purpose that I work towards every single day. That's me very, that's a big life changer. Gratitude journaling, just writing down things I'm grateful for. Going to the gym, pushing towards goals in the gym, exercising, running. Spending time in nature is a huge one, especially very mindfully and in the moment. these habits have pretty much changed my life, and I am so grateful to have them. And if you haven't done any of these habits before, if you've never even heard of some of these, then you're missing out. You're really, really missing out. And I'm saying this with love, because if you have bad mental health, if you have symptoms and tendencies to be depressed and anxious, and maybe you just don't like your life, then honestly, you need self-improvement. Something I would suggest doing is, if you want to like start improving your life, don't overcomplicate it. Do two things right now. Start regularly meditating and start regularly going to the gym. That's it. Meditation is something that is very easily overlooked because people think it's some weird spiritual new age thing. But meditation really is something that in this modern day everybody has to do. 200, 300 years ago, you could make the excuse that it's stupid or new age, but in this modern day, we pretty much have to meditate to just keep our attention span and to keep our lives in the moment. If you think back to any memorable or beautiful or lovely life experience that you've had, it was most likely it was most likely something it was most likely a time where you were completely in the moment. If you look back on a good social interaction, a good conversation you had, or just a good life memory that you really, really enjoyed in the moments, well, you most likely lived that memory in the moment. But nowadays, now that we're older, now that we have more responsibilities and stresses and anxieties, and for enjoyment we doom scroll and just play on our phones, we don't have that mindfulness anymore. We don't have that like in the moment kind of way of living. We have our moments, sure, but for the most part we don't live like that anymore, and that's honestly the source of our lack of life enjoyment and life contentment and peace and joy. And you can truly enjoy just being alive again and enjoying nature and enjoying all the things around you and all the things you have. It's all just an internal shift that needs to be made. Your life doesn't suck because your job sucks. It doesn't suck because the people around you suck, or your life sucks, your home sucks, everything's messy, unorganized, dirty. That is a factor, don't get me wrong, that is a factor, but that is not the reason why you are depressed or anxious or miserable or stressed or overwhelmed. It's all internal, and the last 2 months of my life have completely proved that for me. I haven't changed jobs in the past 2 months. I haven't changed jobs. I haven't changed my surroundings. I haven't changed where I live. In fact, things have been more stressful objectively. More things are going on. And yet I am at more peace. I am at more joy. I don't even think about my stresses or anxieties or responsibilities throughout the day. I just don't think about them. I just enjoy my life in the moment. And honestly, the number one habit that has helped me with that is meditation. There's other habits that are really good for you that will like kind of compound more more benefits on your life. But so far, meditation has been the most helpful. So how do I meditate for maximum mental health? The way I meditate is I sit down in a place that's very low stress, low distraction. And especially starting out, you want to be in a very low distracting environment. Sorry, I'm hearing weird noises. And you essentially just need to start closing your eyes and just focus on your breath or on your surroundings, and preferably your breath. Just breathe in really deep. And breathe out really deep, really hard. Breathe in from your stomach and just breathe in really, really deeply. Essentially, when you do that, you just focus on the breath, you are doing two different things. you're improving yourself physically and you're improving yourself mentally. So the mental part that gets improved is when you're focusing on your breath, because your breath is the now. Your breath is in the moment. Your breath is like real like life in the moment. And the physical part that gets improved is your breathing. So when you breathe in deep like that, you are improving every single bodily function that you have, which will then in turn affect how you feel, which affects your mental health. So it all comes down to mental health. That's why breathing deep is so important, especially through your nose, because oftentimes we're mouth breathers. We breathe shallowly. We kind of just breathe like this. Like we kind of just all breathe like this. A lot of times we breathe like that in life. Most of us do. And our breathing directly affects our levels of anxiety. If you breathe like that on a regular basis, then no wonder why you feel anxiety. Your breathing is literally reinforcing your mind that you're in a stressful environment or a stressful situation. Hence why you have a baseline level of anxiety and stress and worry. So the way we overcome that is by meditating and practicing deep breathing and also deep focusing on the present. Now, after a few seconds, now depending how distracted you are, overwhelmed you are, how anxious you are, or overstimulated you are with brain rot, you're either going to get distracted in a couple seconds or like 10 seconds. And you're going to get some random thought in your head like, oh, what's for dinner? Or, oh, I'm stressed about this thing. Or, oh, I have this thing later that I'm stressed about. You're going to get some random thought. It could be a stupid one or it could be a stressful one. But regardless, you're going to get a random thought. And that's okay. That's completely okay. What you need to do is when you become aware of that thought, that you're getting it, is you need to redirect your attention back to the present moment, back to your surroundings, back to your breath. You're going to probably stop deep breathing. Just focus back on deep breathing, and you will, every time you do that, it's kind of like doing one bicep curl for your mental health, for your physical health. So every time you do that, you are practicing the skill of mindfulness, and you are becoming more mindful, more in the moment. I promise you, if you do this habit, just start out by doing it maybe 1 or 2 minutes a day. Set a timer on your phone, just do it for 1 to 2 minutes. And I promise you, you will notice a huge difference in your mental health and just your ability to enjoy your life in the moment. It really is a remarkable difference that you will notice almost immediately. But especially after, like 2, 3, 4, 5 days, let alone a week of doing this, you will notice such a big improvement. Such a big improvement to your mental health. It is honestly remarkable. Man, this is so nostalgic. Sorry guys, I'm having a moment here. Forgive me. Oh my gosh. The gut feeling I just had inside me when I heard that song. Come on. Sorry guys, I did it. I wasn't expecting to be moved to tears by a Minecraft song, but here we are, I guess. Oh my goodness. Forgive me guys for the distraction. Oh my goodness. That just did something to me. Oh, all the memories flooding back, the thousands of photographic memories of just the best time of my life, all flooding back to me. Man, what am I? Ah, my goodness. What was I talking about? Oh my gosh, meditation. Meditation is an amazing habit, and meditation will make you feel so much more spiritually at peace. You will literally feel like how you feel when you play Minecraft, and you know how you felt when you played Minecraft as a kid, and you just felt so much peace and innocence and curiosity, and you were figuring it out for the first time, and you just felt so in the moment and so curious. Now when we play Minecraft as adults, oftentimes we're just in our head, we're overthinking, we're not even really enjoying it in the moment. That is a reflection of our real life. It's a reflection of our real current mental state. We desperately need to reverse this for our life. Otherwise our life is just going to be miserable and shallow for the rest of our lives. But I know for a fact, if you're watching this right now, you want to live like a deep, meaningful life. You want to live with new memories. You want to live with this spiritual love for life that you had. Just like with Minecraft, you had this love for Minecraft and this love for the world and this love for like the game itself. Well, back then you also had a love for life. You had a curiosity for life. Even if your life was miserable, even if you hated your life as a kid, there was still a sense of peace. There was still a sense of like spirituality there that made you really just enjoy your life. I'm gonna block this off while we don't have any windows. Meditation really does make you feel so much more spiritually alive and so much less numb and so much more just in the moment and so much more like a kid again. And I think the reason for that is because as adults, when we get older, even if we're just in high school or college, we get so distracted by so many different things, so many things you have to think about when we're older. But when we meditate, we are reminding ourselves to just focus on the moment. You're literally training your brain to go against everything that it's being told on a daily basis. And you're teaching it to live in the moment. You're teaching it to be present. You're teaching it to enjoy all the trees, all the nature around you, all the birds, all the noises, all the aspects of our life around us. It makes us notice the bushes, the flowers. It makes us notice everything. And when we notice more, we enjoy more. We're more in the moment. We're more like alive. I don't know how else to get this across to you guys, but as you can see, I'm very passionate about this because it changed my life, and I honestly could improve even more right now just by meditating more and praying more and doing better. You see, the thing is, the world we live in is all spiritual. I know some people don't like hearing this, but if you're a spiritual person, you will understand, and you will definitely be listening right now. You genuinely just want more out of life. You genuinely just want to know your meaning, your purpose for being here. You just want to feel alive. And I'm telling you, you can enjoy this life so much more, and you can have a more spiritual... Everyday life can be a spiritual experience, just a memorable experience, a loving, joyful, beautiful, curious, joyful existence. That could be your life every single day. Truly. Everything is spiritual. There is an objective good, there is an objective bad. The objective bad is just a corruption of the objective good. It's not its own thing. It's just a corruption, a manipulation of the good. When we are closer to the objective good, which is just the natural order to the life that we're supposed to live, we are more at peace. We're more joyful. We're more curious. We're more loving or feel loved. We're more content with ourselves and our life. We are more in the moment. We are more mindful. We are more sensitive. At the most spiritual times of my life, I would literally cry if I saw a squirrel. Um, I would just cry over everything because everything was so spiritual to me. When you're spiritually sensitive, everything is just so much more beautiful to you. Even like the smallest things in life. Would you rather be, this is a real question for some of you guys, would you rather be so numb to life that you don't feel like joy or like love like that for random things? Or would you rather feel love and joy for random things so sensitively and just genuinely like being able to like feel it and feel all the things in life that we experience on a daily basis? I'm guessing a lot of you would probably like to feel that and to genuinely feel like you're alive, like you're a human, not just a robot, not just a slave to the system. And even if you are a slave to the system, you can genuinely reprogram your mind and your soul to feel this way. It's not even that hard. It just takes time and it takes awareness and knowledge of the truth and the reality of the universe. There is an objective good. There is a spiritual good. There is a natural order to how the universe was made. And when we live in that natural order, when we live in that way, we are essentially making ourselves more spiritually sensitive. We're making ourselves happier, more joyful, more content, more happy. And that's when we start enjoying our life again. That's when we start, even if we work a horrible job, we can completely shift ourselves into such a spiritual and mental state to where we are happy again. And I'm telling you, meditation is like probably one of, if not the greatest habit for that, because you're putting yourself in the present moment. And so much of life is so mundane and depressing because we just are so distracted. We're so overwhelmed and occupied by so many different things 24/7. It feels uncomfortable to get out of your head, get out of distraction and entertainment and pleasure, to just sit with yourself in the moment. That's difficult. It's kind of uncomfortable when you do it for the first couple times, but when you make a habit of it, when you come home from work and instead of doom scrolling, you just sit down outside and you're in your backyard and have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, and you just unwind and relax. That's a form of meditation. It's not it's not the habit of meditation, but it is a form of meditation, and you are improving your mental health just by doing that. And yet so many of us hate our lives so much that we fall into an endless cycle of addiction and pleasure and doom scrolling and watching TV and movies. You tell yourself you need pleasure because your life sucks and your job sucks, but if you just resist giving into that pleasure and you do the good habits and you live mindfully and you meditate and you do the habit that will actually be better for you, like just being outside, no phone, no nothing, just having a cup of tea, or just doing the habit of meditation. When we do these things instead of the ultra stimulating pleasure that we feel like we need to feel, we will actually end up enjoying our life more. In the past like couple of weeks, I've been going into work every morning and genuinely enjoying my job. This is crazy. Hear me out. Please stop what you're doing and focus on my voice right now. I am actually enjoying my job right now. 2, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, I woke up with a sense of complete dread and anxiety to go to work. I didn't want to go to work. I was like, oh, this is stupid. I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. And I would also feel a sense of anxiety and like fear. And like, I just had a baseline level of anxiety in my life. And yet, now I genuinely enjoy going to work. Now, I don't like love my job. It's not my purpose. It's not my like perfect deep dream job. But yet, I am so happy. I'm so in the moment. I'm so joyful that just as a baseline existence, that's my life. That's how I feel. And so I genuinely enjoy going to work. In fact, there's been a couple times where I've looked forward to going to work in the morning. How crazy is that? Oftentimes when I've felt that way, it's because oftentimes in the mornings where I felt that way about my job, I went to the gym, I worked on a goal, I worked on these videos that give me meaning and purpose. I meditated to improve my attention span. I prayed to God and had a relationship with God, and basically like gave my trust and my well-being, my cares, my anxieties over to him in prayer, just giving it to God. Whether he is real or not, having a relationship with God has completely changed my life. God could be some magical being in the sky, and yet by praying I have completely transformed my mental and spiritual health, so that's got to count for something, right? For the record, I believe God is real. I have no doubt about that, but I'm just saying, if he wasn't real, if you don't believe he's real, just praying and meditating and reading the Bible still has so many good benefits. In fact, reading the Bible as an atheist is so helpful because the Bible is like the natural order. The Bible and what Jesus stood for and the values of the Bible and Proverbs and Psalms, reading that genuinely puts you back into that natural order to the universe, that natural way of life that we're all supposed to be living. It helps you like get closer to that. It helps you get closer to that ideal. And in a sense, that's why so in a sense, regularly reading the Bible will actually make you more peaceful, more at peace, more joyful, more content, more happy, just because it's bringing you closer to that natural order. Now, I'm not saying it's going to, in of itself, bring you peace, joy, contentment, purpose, but it will give you some of that, and it will get you closer to that objective good. So basically, in our lives, we need to strive for that objective good. We need to stop lying, even white lies. We need to stop getting angry and hurting people's feelings, even if we have to repent. We have to say sorry. Repentance and being sorry is a true, and forgiving people and asking for forgiveness and having gratitude and doing acts of kindness. These are things that will greatly bring you closer to that objective good. Praying, meditating gets you closer to. Meditating puts you more in the moment, which means you'll enjoy nature more, you'll enjoy social interactions and conversations, you'll enjoy just everyday life more. Again, because that was terrifying. Oh my gosh. And so you'll enjoy life more by meditating for that reason. So it's a whole thing. This is a whole area of focus that people don't tell you about, that you don't often hear in the world, and so that's why I'm trying to talk about it in today's gameplay video thing, because this is honestly like the key to a happy life, to a peaceful life, to a joyful life, to a good quality life. And if you just want to be at peace again, if you have that hunger for enjoying life again and being in the moment and genuinely feeling spiritually connected to everything in life, if you hunger for that again, if you just want to feel like a kid again, then please take my advice. Please. It's helped me so much, and I know it can help you if you just open yourself up to the idea of it and you just do it regularly. That's why I advocate for these habits, because in some way or another, the habits I advocate for bring you closer to this objective good, which is essentially just God, which is just the center of the universe, the way the universe was created, which was created by God. So, man, I'm losing my voice. I've been talking so long. My goodness. I am losing my voice. Guys, holy crap. I need some water. I need to take a water break. So yeah, if I was doing this all for the first time again, I would start by meditating and going to the gym. The reason being is because a lot of us struggle with laziness, struggle with tiredness, mental fatigue. We struggle with so many of these different things, and honestly, getting in the gym will help a ton, and setting goals in the gym gives you a sense of purpose. No matter what, we all need a sense of purpose in our lives. No matter no matter what, we just need a sense of purpose in our life. And to find sense of purpose, it doesn't have to be your God-given true spiritual purpose. Now, that is something to work on and to look for in life, but that's not like what you need to hope for in of itself. If you go to the gym and set the goal of losing 5 pounds or gaining 5 pounds strength on the bench press, all of a sudden your life kind of starts turning into a video game because you have goals that are actually fun. And especially when you start making progress and you like stick to your goals long enough to see a little bit of progress, I'm telling you guys, you get addicted. You guys will get addicted to these goals and to pushing towards these goals every single day. How beautiful is that? Imagine genuinely feeling like life is a video game. That is so freaking cool, man. And that's how my life feels right now. If you want your life to feel like a video game, just set small goals like that. Go to the gym for one and set small goals either in the gym or outside of the gym. And once you start making progress after a few days, after a week, you will genuinely be so excited to wake up in the morning and push towards those goals again. What a fun way to live life. Like, imagine your life genuinely feels like a video game. That can be your life. And honestly, the gym is an amazing way to feel that, because the gym is kind of like a shadow of video games, of setting goals and like making progress in video games. When you increase your bench press or your bicep curl by 5 pounds, it's like you just leveled up. It's like you just like made progress towards a certain column or certain like goal in a video game. That's genuinely how it feels. And you can feel that, like, that enjoyment that you get from completing like a quest or an accomplishment or a goal in a video game. You can feel that same, if not more, joy in real life. But instead of just making progress in a video game, you're also making progress in real life towards your mental health, your physical health, your strength, your confidence, your spiritual health, all these different things. So it's much more worth it than making progress in a video game. So turn life into a video game. Make life as addicting as possible, and improving your life as addicting as possible. Make meditation fun. I know if you're addicted to like high stimulating doom scrolling and like content consumption and brain rot, then no matter what, going to the gym and meditating and journaling, these things are not going to be fun for you. They just won't, because you're too addicted to the high stimulating things. But nonetheless, you can make these habits fun. You can genuinely make them as addicting as possible to where you want to do them. I wake up in the morning and I do focus work immediately. I work on these videos almost immediately, and sometimes I'm really tired. Sometimes I don't want to do it. And I know that also afterwards I'm going to have to pray and meditate and journal. I don't always want to do these things. They're kind of like out of the way and inconvenient, and I'm tired. I just want to go to work. I'm tired. I'm fatigued. I just want to sleep in and then go to work. But something I do is I really like cold brew. I really like cold brew, which is like a form of like cold coffee that's like kind of like nitro infused or something. I don't know how it all works. It's like infused with nitrogen or something. I don't know. But I basically set aside a cold brew coffee for myself every night, and I plan to drink that when I first wake up every morning. And in doing so, because I enjoy it so much, I'm able to associate some dopamine, some enjoyment in my life with doing the good habits. So for example, if you don't like going to the gym, first of all, you will like going to the gym eventually. You just have to go a few more times and you'll get addicted to going. But a lot of times we don't like going to the gym because we associate it with negative things, with negative enjoyment. We don't enjoy it. If you go there with the mindset of enjoying it like it's a video game, literally just pushing the weights like it's a video game, and you're making progress, and oh, it's so cool, you're making progress in the video game. But if you also bring your favorite drink to the gym, if you have your favorite meal after the gym every day, you will then start associating the gym with that dopamine, with that fun, enjoying thing. And that is essentially how you enjoy doing the good habits every day, is by just stacking the dopamine with the good habit. That's what I do, and it works very well for me. And I wake up every morning with a sense of excitement. Even on days where I'm tired, even on days where I don't want to do it, I feel a sense of excitement and enjoyment, just because I have something I enjoy and something I love and something I take pleasure in along with it. So hopefully that makes sense. Make a new pickaxe here. Probably gonna go back up to the surface soon. I just to our home. I just need I need a little more iron, and I'm also kind of looking for diamonds. Don't know if we'll find any, but hopefully we will. I really dig these old ore textures. They look so cool. I miss when they look like this. And the lava texture as well. Unfortunately, looks like the cobblestone is still like the modern cobblestone. I think the modern cobblestone... I think the old version of cobblestone was... Well, that wasn't good. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, what have I done? What have I done? Oh my gosh, I'm still on fire. I'm still on fire, guys. What the heck? Holy crap, that burned for so long. If I didn't have all that food in my inventory, I would have died. So they really nerfed this game. This game used to be like genuinely scary and difficult. They need to bring that back. Lava is so like unintimidating now in the modern game. This is way more hard. I'm not even in a cave system right now. If I was in a cave with skeletons and creepers and zombies, I would get wrecked right now. I miss these old versions. So nostalgic. But yeah, in case you guys are new to this channel and you're just kind of watching this passively, I do make self-improvement content where I talk about basically pretty much every day I post a new video talking about these topics on how to improve your life. Physically, mentally, spiritually, and just in any way. Confidence, looks, inner peace, joy, spirituality, God, any of these things. Literally any of these topics I talk about pretty much every day in new videos. So subscribe if that sounds good to you. And also consider joining my Discord. I have a Discord that is full of people trying to improve their life together. And honestly, just surrounding yourself with people who are like that will make it more likely for you to succeed and improve your life. So that is scientifically proven, as well as bro science from me personally. So join the Discord. It'll be good for you. I promise. It'll be a good place for you to improve your life and be around other people who just get it. Be around other people who have struggled with mental health and depression, anxiety, and understand what it's like to go through these things. So some of the chats in this Discord are actually very vulnerable and very, very deep, and it feels like a family in there. It really does. And I would love to have you join. So if you're still listening to this video, please consider joining my Discord. I have it linked in the description below, and I also have it linked on my channel page. So subscribe and check that out. It'll be good for you, I believe. This is a long strip mine without finding diamonds. Diamonds are a lot more rarer in these versions. Man, I've been thinking back during this whole time playing this old version. I've been thinking back to all the late nights of me playing Minecraft. From 2012 to 2020. Oh my gosh, I keep saying 2020. From 2012 to 2014, my My dad had custody, but my mom also had visitation on weekends, and a lot of times I would spend the night on weekends. And I remember they had a computer. My grandpa had a computer that he would let me use to play Minecraft and other games. I played a lot of history games back then too, like Europa Universalis. But anyways, I just look fondly on those days because I remember so many late nights playing Minecraft, and I literally like out the office. I literally remember out the office window seeing like the moon shining down, and I'm just playing Minecraft, and it was so peaceful. Everybody was asleep. Sometimes my mom would be awake, and she used to usually stay up really late, and we would have deep conversations while I play Minecraft. And man, it is such a memorable. Oh, we found diamonds! Finally, we found diamonds. Look at that. All right, look at this. Finally. But yeah, I just remember a lot of those late nights playing either like grinding the prison server, God's PvP, or just grinding factions, or just playing single player, or watching YouTube videos on Minecraft from all those Minecraft YouTubers back in the day, or just making my own videos. I was a YouTuber back then and I made Minecraft videos. So the nostalgia of this, of these late nights and these early mornings and the peace of it, I just, even though my life was a mess, even though I had a lot of things to be ungrateful for, I was still at peace and I was still happy. And a big part of that was because I had Minecraft. And man, am I just so immensely grateful for this game all these years later. As an adult, I wouldn't recommend using this as a coping mechanism. But also, it's kind of hard to use that as a coping mechanism. A lot of us just end up resorting to drugs and alcohol because Minecraft just doesn't do it for us. But I'm glad that we had this game as kids to fall back on. It really is something to be really grateful for. Speaking of gratitude, journaling down things that you're grateful for every single day, or at least a few times a week, is another habit that I forgot to mention that is just like meditation, which only takes like 2 or 3 minutes a day to do. But for some reason, whenever I do this consistently, I feel so much closer to that like objective good. I feel so much closer to peace and joy and just gratitude for my life. And I think when you have a sense of gratitude, you just feel more peace in life. You just have this sense of peace and like just stillness in your existence, which is so beautiful to have, that we most people don't have anymore in life. So I highly recommend gratitude journaling. It's an amazing habit. Um, there's also some other neuroscience that I've learned recently about gratitude journaling. Apparently, just listening to a story or hearing about somebody else that received help or was grateful or had their lives changed and or overcame like a big hard thing in life. Apparently, listening or reading those things, even if it wasn't something that happened to you, improves your own level of gratitude. So, your own levels of like baseline gratitude for your life. Apparently, that gets raised when you read or listen to those things. So, kind of interesting. I never really knew that, but apparently, you don't even have to journal it down for yourself. You can just listen. Oh my gosh, what happened here? That was very glitched. Okay. Interesting. But apparently just by... Oh, I saw diamonds. Did you guys see that? There were some diamonds over there. Okay, let me make some more torches. But yeah, the reason why gratitude journaling is so helpful is it kind of makes you focus on everything around you that you have in life, and it makes you more self-aware, and it makes you just have more gratitude. A sense gratitude is like such an important thing to feel, that like objective good in the universe. I don't know why, but gratitude is such like an objectively good thing to have, that it may really makes you feel that strongly, and it really makes you feel that peace and contentment in life. And so if you want to feel peace and contentment and like spiritual sensitivity to life, meditate, but also journal down things you're grateful for as often as you can. And yeah, gratitude is apparently a really good emotion to feel. So funny enough, we can literally force ourselves to feel gratitude. And so if you journal down things you're grateful for, depending on where you are in life, you might not be able to really make yourself feel grateful. You can try and like think about how you're grateful for those things, but you probably don't feel it deep down. But over time, over a couple times of doing this, you will start being naturally grateful and naturally more positive minded about your life, which will then just make you more at peace and more joyful and more content. So having contentment in life is a pretty big thing. Really important to have that for if you want to feel like a kid again, if you want to feel spiritual again, if you want to feel just happy again. That's really important to have. But yeah, having a regular gratitude practice as often as possible, it literally shifts the state that you're in. It literally shifts the resting state that you live your life every single day, every moment in. It shifts it from an anxious state, a state that is ruled by anxiety, to a state that is completely centered on positive, like feel-good emotions. Which means you don't have to just feel these things to feel them. They are automatically felt in your life. So just like how we automatically feel negative when we feel depressed and anxious just automatically for our life, we can program ourselves to feel naturally grateful and happy and positive and joyful and at peace. So gratitude journaling is an amazing habit to kind of start slowly reinforcing those positive things for our life, and this will improve our overall life quality and contentment, and we'll just have better lives. And I want that for you. I really want you to live a better life. Gratitude is such a good habit for that. How long is this video? 1 hour and 15 minutes. Holy crap. It's probably going to get cut down like 10 or 15 minutes or so, but man, this is a long one. If you guys are still watching, comment down below. What are you grateful for? What are you grateful for right now? Give me 3 or 4 things you're grateful for, and also take a break. Whatever you're doing, wherever you are. If it's nighttime, then maybe don't do this, but get outside. Step on your balcony, step on your porch. Even if it's nighttime, just step out on your porch, or just get out on some grass, get in your backyard, front yard, just wherever, and just spend literally just 1 minute, guys, 1 minute. Just spend 1 minute outside without your phone, without distraction, without talking, without anything else. Just be in the moment, look at the moon, look at the sun, and just be present. I promise if you do this right now for just 1 minute, your mental health will improve quite a bit. And you are starting yourself off on a good trajectory to improve your life mentally. So do it right now. This is your actionable step for today. I promise doing these habits will drastically improve yourself and your life. Oh, I forgot you can't shift click. There you go. Well, got a diamond pickaxe. What else is there to do? Let's go back up to our base, I'd say. Let's go back up there. Oh, hello, zombie. Hello, bud. But yeah, if you just feel like you're a very stressed or anxious person, or a very distracted person, overstimulated person, overwhelmed person, then consider meditating and journaling gratitude. I really do think those things will help you. there's like dozens of other habits I talk about in my videos that genuinely will help you with your mental health and your physical health and your spiritual health. All in the areas of like confidence, joy, peace, joy maxing, peace maxing, confidence maxing, looks maxing, uh, women maxing, Christ maxing, God maxing. I don't know, just any of these things. I really do think, in all seriousness, to improve your life, to start getting back on a better trajectory for your life, these habits will genuinely be lifesavers. And you got to realize, you have to convince yourself that it's the inner state that is the reason why you don't like your life, why you're so miserable and depressed or anxious. It's not the external. The external has very, very little effect, and yet we make it like this big thing, when in actuality, the biggest thing is the internal part of us. So, forget about the dishes you have to do, forget about the job, forget about the school, forget about um, the bullying that's going on, or whatever else you're going through. Forget about it. And just be in the moment. And do these habits and improve your life, because, man, your life will just get so much better. Put some iron in here. Then we gotta make this base a little bigger. Make a cool little giant house. Where is this guy? Oh, there you are. Burn. Burn, please. Alright. Good riddance, buddy. Let's, oh, it's so dark. More iron. Something that we need to realize, I need to make a shovel. Something we need to realize is, even if we doom scroll or we watch uh, bad content online, if you know what I mean, I have to censor myself. Even if we do watch YouTube or movies or TV shows, even a little bit, maybe just like an hour a day, calm down, wind down. You gotta realize these shows, these TV shows, this doom scrolling, this corn, this junk food that we eat, even in moderation, it's setting ourselves back mentally, physically, spiritually. And so my question is, why do it? And it, like, doing these things directly reverses like the benefits we get from meditating and eating healthy and feeling good inside and journaling and reading books and learning and just being healthier and going to the gym, exercising, pushing ourselves, having goals. If it doesn't serve those things, then it's serving pleasure, right? And pleasure isn't inherently a terrible thing, but at the same time, you know, if you meditate, you'll be more spiritually happy. You'll love your life more. Your hobbies should be spending time in nature, hiking. Your hobbies should be making music, enjoying things like that. If your hobby is doom scrolling, if your hobby is watching TV and movies and spending time online and Instagram, and is that really like a good hobby to have, when we could be creative, when we can be in nature, when we could be honoring God and like the objective good and the natural order to life by doing those habits? How much happier were we like 15, 20 years ago, when all we had was piano lessons, playing the guitar, spending time in nature, going on walks, going on hikes, going on road trips, going to a new restaurant we've never been to. Like, this is how we get our dopamine. We get our dopamine through these things. But if we even get a little bit of dopamine from doom scrolling, eating junk food, doing these habits, you think you're enjoying it, you think you're doing it to like calm down and receive some pleasure. But the thing is, if we do these highly stimulating things, then we're not going to want to do the meditation, the praying, the journaling, the working out, the eating clean. And if we don't want to do those things, then we're just not going to improve mentally, physically, or spiritually. So this is a big stronghold I see in people, where a big choke point for mental health improvements, and they love the bad habits a little too much. And I understand you want moderation, you want to enjoy yourself. I understand, I get it. I really do get it. Trust me, I understand. I'm the same way. I like these pleasures of life. But when we give into them, probably should make a iron pick or axe. There you go. When we give in to these like pleasures, when it comes time to go to the gym, when it comes time to stop doom scrolling and go meditate or pray or journal or work on something meaningful, doing homework, you realize if you do that homework and you don't procrastinate, yes, it sucks in the moment, but afterwards you feel more at peace. You feel more calm because you finished the work you need to do. You feel accomplished. Even if it's work that you absolutely hate doing, you'll feel more accomplished. You'll feel more disciplined. You'll feel more motivated. So isn't it just better for us mentally and like overall to just do that hard thing instead of doom scrolling, instead of getting a little bit of pleasure or procrastinating? So why are we glorifying that bad habit? Why are we glorifying doom scrolling when if we just don't do the doom scrolling, then we don't have any like super stimulating, pleasurable habit to compare meditation to, or journaling to, or going on a hike to? Literally the whole reason why we don't spend time in nature as a hobby or play guitar as a hobby is because we have doom scrolling. We can watch explicit content in like 3 seconds online. We can watch super stimulating content on YouTube or Instagram Reels. So why not just do that, which is more fun in the moment, instead of playing guitar or going on a hike? But the thing is, you have to understand, playing the guitar, journaling, reading that book, instead of watching something online, going on a hike, spending time in nature, doing these things, going to a new restaurant. If this is your source of dopamine, if this is your source of pleasure and like hobbies and enjoyment in life, rather than the doom scrolling, rather than the fast content, then you're closer to the objective good of the universe, which makes you more spiritual, more happy, more at peace, more content. Because the objective good is those emotions, but the objective good is also tied to playing guitar, because making music and being creative is a godly good thing, which makes you closer to the objective good. Being creative makes you closer to the objective good. Doom scrolling as a hobby, as a source of enjoyment, does that really make you closer to God? Does that really make you a creative person? Does that really make you feel better about yourself? So why are we doing it at all when we can just be playing guitar or doing something that as a hobby that makes us feel better about ourselves? I know this is kind of a weird thing to bring up, and a lot of people don't like to hear it because, well, they like doom scrolling, they like a little bit of content consumption. But you just have to realize that it's not serving you, that your life enjoyment could be so much better if you are playing that guitar instead of doom scrolling, or playing piano instead, or you know that like one ADHD like autistic person that like has a lot of like random hobbies, and you kind of like hang out with them and you get bored because they're playing piano and you're like, what the heck, like why do I care about this? Let's go play video games right now. Let's go do something crazier, more fun, more stimulating. And you've probably had friends like that before, but those people are always infinitely happier and more like purposeful and more just happy as people than we are. So it makes you think, it really does make you think that maybe we shouldn't doom scroll at all. Maybe we should just delete YouTube and Instagram and TikTok. And by the way, I'm saying this knowing that if you guys follow through with this, I will get less views. I will get less engagement. I will get less success with these videos. So I'm saying this completely selflessly because this really is something we have to keep in mind. Like, the reason why we feel this way is because we're doing so many things, so many habits in our day that don't serve us, that aren't expressing creativity, that aren't good for other people or yourself, that aren't honoring God, that aren't honoring the objective good, the natural order to life. So that's why I don't really agree with like doom scrolling in moderation or doing some of these bad habits in moderation. And it's not helping you. It's not a good outlet for anything. The only reason why we feel like we need to do it is because we're so stimulated already that we don't find a sense of enjoyment in less stimulating things. And that's just something we have to work on, you know? This is something we have to slowly start destimulating our life and just dopamine detoxing our life slowly but surely, so that we don't feel like we have to doom scroll, like we have to do that every single day. And honestly, if we just cut it out entirely, it'll just be infinitely easier to it'll just be infinitely easier at that point to be more mindful and more less stimulated and less overwhelmed all the time. So that's why I'm against it. But don't get me wrong, I do it too. I doom scroll still every once in a while. I still watch YouTube videos every once in a while. I'm not hating on you guys for doing it. I'm just saying it's not the best thing in the world, you know? There's better things we could be doing with our time that could express creativity, that could be more honorable, more enjoyable, existentially enjoyable, I mean. Not more stimulating, not more fun per se, but more enjoyable spiritually for ourselves. So, hope that makes sense. I know it's kind of a weird thing, but I forgot where I was. I had to take a break in recording, so I don't really know what I was discussing previously, just a minute ago. But let's get some seeds and get ready to make a farm. It's probably our next step to do in this game. But yeah, I give all this advice to you guys from a place of love, because I wish somebody told me this when I was younger. I wish somebody told me about these mental health habits that really do help. These habits like meditation, all these habits, going to the gym, these things will help you in every area of life. You don't need to be a bodybuilder to go to the gym. You don't need to be a monk to go and meditate. These habits will genuinely have an impact on your mental health and your confidence and your level of like joy in life, let alone getting out in nature, let alone replacing like the bad habits and hobbies like doom scrolling and watching porn and eating junk food with less stimulating but also more like existentially enjoyable habits like getting out in nature, hiking, road trips, trying that new restaurant in town, or going on walks, playing with bugs in the backyard, like weird things like that like genuinely would change your life, because it's just so close to like nature. It's so close to the natural order to everything, and we've run so far away from the natural way of life. I mean, we all live in man-made houses, man-made artificial food, artificial conversations that we have with one another. Everything is so artificial and forced and fake and cheap. But what isn't fake or cheap or artificial is nature, is the natural life that we all live next to. And if we just spend more time in that, then we will genuinely feel better. I wholeheartedly believe that. Can you make an infinite water source in these versions? I don't know if you can. Oh, you can. Awesome. Sweet. That is awesome. That makes this a lot easier to build a farm. But yeah, I've told my life story before in videos, so I'm not gonna say it again. But my life has been difficult. I have gone through a lot, and I also tried to end my life a few years ago, back in 2022. I almost got to the point of doing it again in 2023, but I didn't. And I just wish somebody told me this advice. I wish somebody told me that meditation helps, going to the gym makes you more confident and more happy and more purposeful, and it's like turns life into a video game. I wish somebody told me that journaling helps me get my thoughts out of my mind. I wish somebody told me that spending time in nature and not doom scrolling or playing video games or doing high stimulating things in my free time would be a lot more existentially enjoyable. And if you have the option to do the stimulating thing like doom scrolling, then you're obviously not going to want to do the more existentially enjoyable thing like going outside or all those things. So I wish somebody told me this, because I almost ended my life. I genuinely almost ended my life, and I if it wasn't for like some kind of weird like divine intervention, I'd be dead right now. And so yes, I am immensely grateful that I have this platform to share these things to people, because people need to hear it. People need to know how to make their lives better again, how to feel happy again. People need to know this. And I just want to make an impact, because nobody really made an impact in my life, and I want to be that for other people, because people really need it. People really need it in this modern day. I needed it. I needed it so desperately, and nobody came to the rescue except, well, I guess God did. But other than that, it was just me. So here I am trying to help other people with the same things that would have saved my life. Oh man, this music is so nostalgic. C418, you are a legend. I wish this didn't happen. When you walk over, how do you prevent that? I think you just have to fix it every time. It's really annoying. This self-improvement advice, but also God, completely transformed everything. Where'd all my... Oh. Apparently if you break these, you don't get it back. Excellent! I wish I knew that earlier when I had 17 seeds that I just wasted. But yeah, my life was so dark, so miserable. So I literally felt trapped, and I got so many nightmares. I was tortured by literally these like demonic entities, and if only I knew about the spiritual realm, if only I knew about the mindfulness, the meditation, journaling, the gym, all these things that would have completely changed my life and my mental health. I'm grateful I did eventually stumble across that advice, because it changed everything. From this sad little boy that was abused, neglected, forgotten about, that played Minecraft in his free time to feel some kind of way, to feel some kind of enjoyment and like peace in life. These Minecraft worlds, this generation, the tasks that you have to do in the world, building farms, building things, mining, brought a sense of peace and gave me something to do. I can't explain it, but this game gave me a lot of existential, spiritual peace, and that's why I still play it to this day in the background of my videos, because this game means a lot to so many people. And so yeah, of course I'm gonna give spiritual advice and like special mental advice and just things that people need to hear while I'm playing this game in the background, because this game, it is so special. It is just such a special part of my life that helped me get through so much. There's an egg on the ground. Ugh, I tried. Tested my luck. Oh man. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you if you feel like ending it all, if you're in that kind of dark hole in life. I don't really know what to tell you because it's like it's like telling somebody to just breathe when they're having an asthma attack. Now, it is true if you breathe the right way, you will be able to breathe if you just calm down, calm your nerves and breathe. A lot of cases you'll be able to breathe and you'll be just fine. But at the same time, like it's hard because you're in a really dark tunnel mentally in your mind, and the only way out is ending it all or sabotaging yourself or doing the bad habits. Your brain is literally convinced that doing the bad habits will get you out of this like mental space, but in reality it's making it worse in the long term. It makes you feel better in the moments, yes. It distracts you in the moments, yes. Alcohol, drugs, uh, content consumption, YouTube, Instagram, these things do distract you in the moment and gives you pleasure in the moment, but it ruins your life in the long term. And I don't want that for you. I want you to find a solution. I want you to fix it and improve and start doing better. Just start meditating every day. Go to the gym. Exercise. Do 3 push-ups a day, 5 push-ups a day. Do ab workouts. Just do something. Just do those 2 things every single day. And I promise your life will start improving and just being better, feeling better. Get out in nature as often as possible. Cut out the doom scrolling completely. Cut out the stimulating habits. Cut out all junk food. Eat only clean, healthy food. Oh, but I want to enjoy myself. Okay, later you can enjoy yourself. Later on you can enjoy yourself, but right now you need to do this because this will completely transform your life. You can have a day off. You can have a cheat day later. But right now you need to follow my advice because you are in a dark, dark hole and this is the way out. Truly. I wholeheartedly mean that. Oh, apparently I can shift click into a chest. That's interesting. I don't think it was always like that, but I think they added that in the launcher. In hindsight, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Just start meditating every day. Just try it every day. Even if it's not doesn't seem to be working, just do it every day. And just slow down. Come home from work or school and just have a cup of tea and sit outside for just a little while. Forget the doom scrolling. Forget the internet. Get off the internet. You'll get FOMO. Who cares? Just get off the internet. This is for your mental health. This is for your long-term happiness in life. Just get off the internet and be in the moment. And your life will start feeling good again. You'll start feeling happy and you'll start feeling like alive again. Of course, you still need to find your purpose, but the gym is like a sense of purpose in a weird way. Even if it's a shallow sense of purpose, it is a sense of purpose. And meditating will help you live life more in the moment. It's like it's like honestly the 2 most important habits. And obviously, like prayer is important if you believe in God. But some people will just never believe in God. They refuse to believe in it. They hate it. They hate the idea of it. And I'm not going to try and convince you because that's for your own journey. That's for yourself to figure out someday whether God is real or not, or whether the spirituality stuff is real. That's for you to figure out. If you are open to that, then I will say God is real and God wants to have a relationship with you. And opening up to God and praying and being genuine with God about how you feel, and also just believing in Him, believing in Jesus, that is life-changing, I will say. It is life-changing. And I grew up an atheist. I was in my lowest moment. I tried to end my life, and immediately when I cried out to Jesus as a last resort, as an atheist, this was the first time I ever had belief in this, I felt the biggest rush of peace. The biggest rush of spiritual peace. It just felt so good. It felt like I don't want to be TMI or explicit, but it felt like how do I say this in a PG way? It feels like the pleasure. It's like the pleasure you feel in intimacy with somebody, or those acts. That kind of act. It feels better than that, but it's like every second feels like that. Every second feels like that. That feeling. Not just 3 seconds. It feels like every moment of your life feels like that. It just feels so good. That's what being spiritually sensitive feels like. That's what I felt in this moment because I cried out to God in my lowest moments. I was alone, I was depressed, and this was my last resort, and it really opened me up to God, just my desperation. I felt love from something that's like so much bigger than me. I don't know what it was. I assumed it was God, but it felt like something loved me that was so much bigger than me and so much more powerful and like bigger than me. You know how when you're a kid you feel love from your parents? Well, at least some of us did. Y- They're so much bigger than you. You trust them to take care of you. You trust them. You don't have anxiety because you know that your needs will be met by them and you'll be safe. You'll be okay. At the end of the day, even if you get lost, they'll come running towards you and help you and find you. In fact, the only anxiety I could think of that I felt as a kid was when I got lost in the grocery store because my dad actually did forget me. And if you've ever experienced that, that's like the biggest source of anxiety as a kid that you probably ever felt. Except for like real like danger, like real danger. So it's funny, that's the only anxiety we felt, but it's because we had full trust, full understanding that our parents will take care of us and that we can rely on them for food, water, shelter, comfort, baseline, just like safety. And yet, as adults, we don't have that anymore. We don't have that trust in anybody else. We can trust ourselves, we can trust government, we can trust friends and family, but only on a very shallow level because they're not above us, they're not bigger than us. On the contrary, if we have God and if we truly trust God, and I know that doesn't just come naturally to everybody, but if we do trust God, then we kind of feel that again. We kind of start feeling that peace, that safety, that just that peacefulness again in life. And that's what I felt. I felt joy. I felt spiritually sensitive. I cried over every little thing that happened to me. I started cutting out everything that I used to love doing. I used to watch bad stuff online, if you know what I mean. I used to eat junk food. I used to watch really bad stuff. I used to listen to really bad music. Literally the next day that this happened after I prayed, I I didn't even want to do any of those things. I was totally uninterested in any of those things because they were not good for me. They weren't healthy. I didn't even want to be online. I literally was like off the internet because I just didn't want to be on there. When just 2 days prior, this was my main source of enjoyment in life, was just getting online and watching videos all day and eating junk food and pleasuring myself. That was my coping mechanism. That was my escapism. That was my source of joy. And yet now I found real joy, and I didn't want to do those things anymore. In fact, I was repelled by them. I was literally repulsed by the idea of doing any of those things or to feel pleasure, because now I felt like my ultimate pleasure was in God, and I just felt like I just felt so spiritually content and spiritually happy in this, like, it's because I was so close to the natural order, the natural way of life. I was so close to the right way that I just felt so good. I felt so clean. I felt so at peace. I don't know how else to describe it. This was life changing for me. I no longer needed my addictions or my vices to feel happy, to feel joy, and to feel good in life. And if you've never felt that before, it's truly remarkable. It's truly life changing. But um, changed my life. Really did. In a weird way, when I played Minecraft as a kid and I felt the peace of playing the game in survival mode, and the world, just watching this, just being in this beautiful world, just reminds me in a shallow sense of the spiritual peace I feel in nature, or the spiritual peace I feel with God. This is all really, really, really real. This is all very real, and I wish for you guys to experience this because it is amazing. And I wish I could convince you guys, but I don't know. I don't know if I ever could. I just it's beautiful though. This life is so much more beautiful, and if I didn't know about this spiritual reality of the universe, this like spiritual like measure of how close you are to God through your actions, through your habits, if I didn't know about this, then I don't think I ever would have felt this going forward, and I wouldn't have improved my life, and I probably would have just fallen back down that deep dark hole and maybe even ended my life. But finding God and having this encounter in prayer made me realize that this is all a spiritual like leveling system, and the closer we are to the natural order, the happier we are, the more joyful we are, the more at peace we are. And now that I know that, I understand why we're supposed to do the good habits, why we're supposed to meditate and practice living in the moment and spending time in nature and not telling lies. And I learned why we shouldn't do these things and why we should do the good habits, why we shouldn't eat junk food, why we shouldn't watch bad stuff online, like, or touch ourselves, touch our little wee-wee. Like, I learned as to why we're not supposed to do that. It's because of the spiritual measuring, the spiritual reality that we live in, and everything we do on a daily basis has an effect. And that's why I preach self-improvement. That's why I preach journaling, meditating, gratitude, because these things reshape our life and put us back on the spiritual objective good, which makes us love our life again over time. I hope this makes sense to some of you guys. I don't know if I'm explaining it very well, but this is what I learned through this experience. And man, I'm very passionate because I almost ended my life, and this knowledge saved me from it. It really did save me from it. These habits saved me from ending it all. Okay, I think we're gonna end it off here, guys. I just wanted to record a little bit more and talk about some more. I don't know. I like talking about this stuff and trying to make you guys understand and help people with it. I love you guys. I'll see you guys hopefully in another video sometime soon. Goodbye.